Hi everyone, it's Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com. Thursday, May the 6th, 2010. Time for our weekly boxing talk. And boy, I've had a few days now to think about that Mayweather-Mosely fight. I even watched the fight again. I'll tell you what, it was even more boring the second time around. Shane Mosely has watched that fight probably a couple times since, and he's got to be kicking himself because that might be his last chance in his career to make any kind of statement. And when push came to shove, he wasn't doing any pushing or any shoving. He just stopped throwing punches in the third round. And when you're not throwing punches and you're getting hit by punches, you don't give yourself a very good chance to win, and that's what we saw happen to Shane in that fight against Floyd Mayweather. I have to say that, as unimpressive as Shane was, we have to say that Floyd was equally as impressive. Not the most exciting fighter in the world. He tried to, be a little more aggressive than he normally is, but, really, it didn't matter because he didn't have an opponent. They didn't really engage, in the back and forth action that we see with some of the other fights out there. So I guess it takes two to tango, and Floyd, I guess he's willing to come forward as long as he's not willing to trade punches. And I think that's really what people are looking for. It's not the aggressor, it's more of the trading punches. So we'll have to see if him and Manny Pacquiao get into the ring in December. Manny is obviously, as you've probably heard by now, he's already said that he's good on the drug testing, and so we'll see if these guys can get everything else worked out. And I think 50, 60 million reasons why they get it together for their own sake and for the rest of our sake. Let's see it settled in the ring, and let's see it done in a great fight between two of the fighters of the decade, Floyd Mayweather Jr., Manny Pacquiao. Personally, I think Floyd's probably a mild favorite in this thing, but definitely a solid but not overwhelming favorite. Of course, Manny Pacquiao, a lot different fighter than Shane Mosely. Number one, I think he has a lot more power. He definitely has a lot more speed, and he's definitely willing to trade, and he's not just going to sit back and let Floyd, tattoo his face like Shane decided to do, after the second round of that fight. So something we're definitely really looking forward to, and of course something that we'll be following going forward, because there's going to be a lot of stories going on about that one. But there's a lot going on in the world of boxing. This weekend, Paul Williams gets into the ring up against the veteran Kermit Citron, so it should be a pretty decent fight. I definitely like Williams in that fight. We saw Citron fight recently, and he fought pretty well. So maybe he gets it done. But I have to say that Williams probably pretty solid and easy choice in that one. The other fight going on this weekend of note is Anthony Margachito, or Margarito, but we call him Margachito, gets to get back into the ring. I don't understand why this guy's even allowed to fight. They're having this thing on pay-per-view. Who cares? I say we turn our backs on him just like he turned his back on the sport. We'll just mention it because someone was willing to let him fight Top Rank, and we'll see what happens with his career. But as far as we're concerned, that career is over. If you cheat like that, and who knows how long he was doing it. It's not just the one time he was caught. It's who knows how long he was cheating, and exactly to the extent of it. They give him a payday to find out if he was actually cheating all along, to watch someone beat his head in the way Shane Mosely did the last time we saw him in a fight that we know he didn't have plaster in his gloves, because they took it out in the dressing room before he was able to wear the plaster-loaded gloves into the ring. But, next week, a bunch of good fights coming up. We're going to do another video next week because hopefully we have a status update on the Pacquiao-Mayweather. But Pacquiao obviously not talking too much about fighting right now in that political election, and we probably won't hear too much from Manny until after the election is over, and then even afterwards. I know he has a family vacation planned after the election. But next week, a really good bunch of fights. We got Amir Khan is fighting up against Paulie Malignaggi, and then we have on the undercard a nice fight between Victor Ortiz and Nate the Galaxy Warrior Campbell. Ortiz and Campbell, a lot of question marks now. I think the Khan Malignaggi fight is, unless Paulie finds some power somewhere. I like the way Paulie fights. I think he's gutsy. He has no power whatsoever. He's lightning fast, and that's his thing. But the thing is, Amir Khan is lightning fast, has a pretty good amount of power also. So I think Malignaggi might be in some trouble there. But the undercard, the Victor Ortiz Nate Campbell fight, should be pretty decent because both these guys, a lot of question marks. Is Campbell done as the game passed him by? And Victor Ortiz, is he ever going to really overcome that fight against Marco Medina? I'm still not convinced. I think the jury's out there. We'll have a lot to talk about next week, and we'll be back next week to talk about it. This is Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com. Be sure to check out all of our sports picks, write-ups, and action at SportsChatPlace.com, including our boxing column written by Bill Jackson, who is fabulous, one of the best up-and-coming writers in the game. And if you're interested in joining SportsChatPlace.com as a boxing writer or by doing some videos, by all means, just contact me, Mitch at SportsChatPlace.com. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.